This journal entry of mine, right now, this time right here, this one, on September 3rd, 2025. I'm gonna call my kids because it actually, as I was, watching things, like, look, I listened to Amy Goodman. She used to do I used to hear it on the radio, the War and Peace Report by Amy Goodman. I don't know, man. When I listen to her talk, it's like she's probably writing a book, man. She's probably writing her daily kind of information segments and compiling them all in a book on a day-by-day journal of what's going on. Because, if I could choose one, very cheap, inexpensive kind of summary of what's going on in America, I would choose Amy Goodman. Anyway, look. Broadcast as a sign of determination in Gaza, doctors and broken hospitals. Well, that's actually, like a text to voice on the TV, whatever you call that, captions of what's being said. That's just a segment of a sentence. But the thing is, the point is, children. And, what's happening to the children. And, it made me reflect on, my children, and it wasn't too long before the understanding came to my mind that really, I didn't bring my children into the world to get anything out of them. That's why it don't really bother me too much if they don't pay me no mind. I brought them into the world because, I thought it was the right thing to do and it'd be okay. I'm confident in my decisions and it don't go much further than that. But now you, my grandchildren, see, I consider you like an extra blessing because, my children survived and they made grandchildren, and that makes me happy. I just wanted to say that, it gave me pause and reflection. Because there's different kind of sayings, like in America. Like you might have one parent saying to the child, "Look, I brought you into this world," like maybe her mama talking to her daughter or her son. "Look, I brought you into this world, and I can sure as hell take you out of this world if need be." I don't know, man. There's other sayings too that we use about, children, in regard to children. And, but I think the solace, that I have is it's kind of, based on my perspective of things and a little bit of faith. And the reason behind what I'm doing. And the Buddha, what he teaches is, look, man, for the reason behind what you're doing, if somebody else tries to lay upon you importance on something that is bullshit, you stick with the reason behind what you're doing, okay? And the way that I look at it is, the reason behind what I'm doing, I was happy, actually, for all three of my children. And now they got children of their own, and that's a good thing. So, And that's why I'm leaving this for you, my grandchildren, because if you are my grandchildren, well, be my grandchildren in spirit. Because if I can give you anything at all, it's only going to be my spirit. And I got my spirit from my dad and my mom, and of the things that I've figured out in this lifetime of mine. And, you know, if I can give it to you, say I feel in that manner that my life has been worthwhile. I helped you along. It's like a baton, passing off the baton in a race. You know? I always did the 440. I think it was 440 with a couple. I don't know if we ran 440 yards and then passed off a baton. I don't know how long the race was, but I did my part. You know, I remember when I was a kid. You know, whoever could be the fastest runner would take the part of whatever part they needed the person who was the fastest runner to be in. Well, I was a fast runner. And that's because that's the situation that I grew up in and stuff like that. So, that's what I'm telling you. And actually what I was thinking to myself was that, you know, crazy things don't bother me. Like, look, I got a dog den out there, you know, I wanted to have for my grandchildren and all that kind of stuff, but, you know, it never came to be. And the revelation to me was, you know, how, you know, dispensable I am. And that I shouldn't, you know, think too much of myself. I'm just a little help in a big wheel. I mean, it wasn't for me. I don't underappreciate myself because it wasn't for me. And then plus I'm very, very smart in some aspects, and so I figure out some stuff. And that's what I'm telling you. All right. So, anyway. All right, bye.